everybody. It's Sage, and I'm here to ramble for a few minutes, and I'm sitting in my car because I like it in here. So I've been thinking a lot about autism, specifically outside perceptions of autism, and how that more often than not negatively affects us that actually exist as autistic people. And one of the big things that I've been thinking about a lot, and that when I try to talk about it with people, including professionals, they're very defensive over this, and but it's more viewed as a problem and very misguided by people in the autistic community. So what I want to talk about is high and low functioning labels. So if you don't know, high functioning is when you're autistic but you don't look autistic and you're able to pass basically as a normal person in your everyday life. You can hold a job, you can live by yourself, you can communicate with people in a way that they understand. Low functioning is when you aren't really able to do those things. You need a lot of assistance. Your communication is so different that other people that are not autistic don't understand you, and you have trouble making or keeping relationships. You can't have a regular job, those kinds of things. The problem with these labels is that they identify some autism as severe and other autistic people as less severe, and that's not how autism works. Autism is a spectrum, and it's so funny that the same people that are touting these labels are also the people that are saying, oh, autism is a spectrum. It can't be a spectrum and a sliding scale. It doesn't work that way. So ultimately, the problem with high functioning and low functioning labels is that it often puts people that are identified as low functioning on a scale of low intelligence, which is not the case. It's not. A lot of autistic people, most autistic people, have normal or even above average levels of IQ, and that is not determined by how autistic you look from an outside perspective. And this is the second issue, and really the main issue, is that this measurement of high functioning and low functioning came about because people that were not autistic looked at people that were autistic and they said, how well can you pass as normal? And if you can't pass as normal, then you're obviously extremely autistic, which again is not how it works. All autistic people have very similar internal experiences, and whether or not you're capable of masking doesn't make you more or less autistic internally. So it's an erasure of the intelligence and experience of classified low-level autistic people, and it's an erasure of high functioning autistic people as well, because it puts this idea into people's heads that real autism looks a certain way, and those people are screaming and flailing and scary and they can't talk. And then you take that idea of what autistic people are and you put it on someone like me, who's capable of communicating to some degree, although it is different than what most people, the way that most people use language, and I'll make another video about that. I'm not going to get into it today. You take that idea and you put it on someone like me, and then you say, well, you don't look autistic, and clearly it's not very severe because you're able to cover it up. And being able to cover it up is not the same thing as not being autistic. And moreover, and I think I've said that several times already, masking is fucking exhausting. It's hard. The things that I have taught myself to do to appear normal and to be able to live independently, which I had to do because of my own background and the family life that I was brought up in. I didn't have a choice. I either had to sink or swim. And a lot of autistic people, you know, have that experience. And it's hard. It's hard, and it's over time, masking confuses the person who's doing it, and they lose their sense of identity. And now that I'm out and I'm open about being autistic, the number of times that I've been told that I don't look autistic, or everyone's a little bit autistic, or that I need to somehow like prove that I'm autistic because I don't come across that way. You know, that saying of like, if I had a nickel for every time, yeah. So anyway, sorry about, well, I'm not sorry, because I need to, you know, express my frustrations about this. But ultimately what I'm trying to say, and what a lot of autistic people that I've spoken with are trying to say, is that the high-low functioning label is shit. It's really shitty. It's shitty for people on both ends of the spectrum. You're either like overlooked because, well, clearly you can handle it, or you're perpetually underestimated and misunderstood and viewed as less intelligent because you don't conform, or you're not capable of conforming to the normal, the appearance of normalcy. So that's it. Like, that's the problem. That's why it doesn't make any kind of sense. And why it's like, basically high and low functioning labels are holding us back to get really like a true and clear understanding of what autism actually is for the people who experience it. So there's my rant. Have a good day.